Before we get into today's video, I did want to introduce our fabulous sponsor. I am especially excited to once again work with the #1 self-care app, Fabulous, to help you build your wellness goals and better habits that actually stick. In today's video, we will be getting insightful information about the rest of 2022. So, if you hear something you do not like and want to change, why not let Fabulous help? Fabulous can be as supportive as you need it to be, acting like a pocket-sized coach, helping you stay accountable towards the habitual wellness goals you've set for yourself. You can choose from a wide variety of habits to track or even create ones yourself. And if you'd prefer something more reflective, I highly recommend the daily coaching or following a wellness journey. When it comes to wellness journeys, you can select multiple journeys to follow at once if that's what you need. But you can also pause a journey without losing progress if you need to take some time off. These are just some of the reasons why I personally recommend Fabulous, because it can be tweaked and tailored to fit your specific individual needs. So I've been using Fabulous for a while now. I would say I've been using Fabulous for at least 8 months. And recently I had to adjust how I use the app to make sure that I'm getting the most out of it and getting the most out of what I currently need right now. So instead of following so many journeys, I've actually recently engaged more in the circles community. The specific circles that I've joined are better sleep and productivity, because my goal is to literally get my sleeping pattern normalized and to make the most out of the time that I have in my day. These circles allow me to gain helpful advice and information while also being a part of a community of like-minded people. So I get that peer support along the way as well. To start building your ideal daily routine, click on the link in my description box below. The first 100 people who click on the link will get 25% off their Fabulous subscription, which will give you access to all of Fabulous's premium features. If this is something that you're interested in, if this is something that you think you need or that you want to try, click on the link in my description box and get that premium subscription. A massive thank you to Fabulous for sponsoring today's video and for helping us be better versions of ourselves in 2022. Now, back to the video. Hi everyone, and welcome to today's reading. In the pick a group portion, I'll be introducing these 3 groups to you. As you can tell, we have 3 different decks to choose from, and they're crystals. Now, I'm going to be doing the pick a group a little bit differently. This is also the intro, so if you want to skip ahead to the literal pick a group portion, feel free to do so, sweet pea. You do not have to stay and listen to all of it, but I do want to introduce the topic of today's reading in this section as well. So we are looking at the rest of 2022 in today's reading. It's going to be juicy. It's a very long reading, okay? The way that I will be doing the reading is we're going to pull 3 cards from an oracle deck, which will tell us the 3 main themes that you can expect to experience for the rest of 2022. I then clarify the themes with tarot and then get advice for each of the themes as well. So it's highly likely that there could be messages in any one of these groups, but the goal of this pick a group portion is to ensure that you're picking a group that has most of the resonating messages for you. So even though it is a general reading, I do hope that your intuition will guide you to picking a group that contains the majority of your resonating messages. So let me introduce the groups without further ado. We have group 1 over here with the citrine sort of crystal. I'm not 100% confident that it is just citrine, but I've been calling it that. I'm not too sure what else it could be, to be honest with you. If you have any ideas, let me know down below. Group 1 also has the stained glass tarot over here as well. Here is the box. Stained Glass Tarot. It's a new deck for me and I had a lot of fun using it, so I'm definitely going to be using it again. Putting that one back, let's have a look at group number 2 over here with the agate crystal and the Pastel Journey tarot deck by Vanessa Samina. I do have a discount code for BowLife. If you don't have this deck yet and you would like to have it or another product on BowLife, be sure to use Hermit 2 at checkout. for 10% off your purchase. So that is group 2 with the Pastel Journey Tarot deck and the Agate Crystal. Beautiful deck. And last but not least, we have Groupus Threepus. Group number 3, you have the True Black Tarot with the piece of coral as well. I love this True Black Tarot deck so much. Here is the box for it. As you can see, the cards are very similar to the box. I love that the light kind of shifts to reveal more of the deck as you're reading it. So those are the 3 groups. The only other thing I need to tell you is to really give yourself time to select your group today. Don't force yourself into a group. Use your weird, wild, wonderful methods to help you if needed. But if you really want to focus on channeling your intuition, I do have a quick 1-minute meditation that will play after this clip, which could help you tune into your intuition and really select a group that you're most drawn to. I do just want to quickly add that there will be an extended reading for each of the 3 groups as well. I'll talk more about the extended reading in your group, but the goal is to get specific messages in the extended by breaking up the groups further, focusing more on love as a theme, finances as a theme, and a general theme as well for anything family, friends, or lifestyle related. So that's what we'll be covering in the extended. I'll talk about that at the end of your reading. Until then, when you know which of these 3 groups you're feeling most called to, click on the timestamp in the description box and join me in your reading. So the first thing I want you to do with me is to take in 2 deep, mindful breaths. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to focus on clearing your mind. It's natural to have thoughts racing at this point. I want you to embrace each thought as it comes and let it slip as quickly as it came in. Focus on clearing and balancing out these thoughts so that they come and go without a desire to be attached to them. And now, with a rested mind, I want you to think of the first group that comes to your mind. It may be a number, it may be an object that I showed you. It could be a specific color, it could be a feeling that you felt when I showed you each of the groups today. When you are ready and when you feel confident, select your group and join me in your reading. Group 1, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Sunstone over here or this beautiful tarot deck, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome. I'm going to move over a little bit more just to make sure that we've got everything in frame. Hopefully I can crop this well so that you can't see the other camera. Now, welcome group 1. We're going to be doing a rest of 2022 predictions reading. We're going to be focusing on what you can expect for the rest of the year. This is the tarot deck that some of you have chosen. I've already forgotten the name, Stained Glass Tarot, and this will be the crystal. So if that was not your choice, then you may be in the wrong group. Otherwise, welcome group 1. Let me put your objects to the side because we're actually going to start your reading by pulling oracle cards, which will, if you follow me on my second channel, this theme / layout is going to be very familiar to you. We're going to be pulling 3 cards from this oracle deck, which will tell us the main 3 themes that your sign can expect to experience for the rest of the year. I'll then be clarifying with tarot and getting advice at the end for each of the 3 themes as well. So Spirit, for group 1, those that chose the Stained Glass Tarot, what are their themes for the rest of 2022? One more card. What are group 1's themes for the rest of 2022, Spirit? Okay. I'm seeing a lot of cards. It feels like you have a big decision to make before the end of the year. Spirit's saying that you have to make a choice to leave a comfort zone that you may have created for yourself, especially in the start of the year. It's going to feel like you're taking a big risk by leaving your comfort zone. For some of you, this has to do with pursuing an opportunity elsewhere, and feeling able to let go of what you've already nurtured and created for yourself to be able to grow further. That's the idea of leaving this comfort zone. I do see it as being a brand new start for you. I apologize. I do see it as being a brand new start for you, and I do see it as being a difficult decision, and I don't think some of you will choose that risk, but others of you, this is kind of what you've been manifesting for yourself, so it's going to be very hard for you to say no. I do see you guys opening doors for yourself, possibilities that you never considered, especially with adjacent possibilities here. The rest of 2022 for you, Group 1, seems to be about thinking outside of the box and allowing your expectations to be exceeded in alternate ways. Some of you set sort of milestones or goals for yourself, and you're going to have the opportunity to exceed them and to take things further. But it does have a little bit of fear because it's, first of all, not what you planned for yourself, but secondly, it's very different to anything that you've experienced. So it just feels like it's very different to your expectations. Let's put these cards to the side for now. Reveal your first theme. We have envy. Okay, Group 1. Your first theme here is envy. So as a theme, it feels interesting because I want to say that as the number 20 in this deck, it's not exactly a bad thing. In your case, it feels like a motivator. It feels like you comparing yourself to others is what's causing you to step forward and maybe take action towards things that you wouldn't have otherwise considered within your realm of possibilities. I really want to delve into that theme first before we look at the other two themes. So let's just get straight into it with your tarot deck now. Spirit, what is this envy energy about for Group 1 for the rest of 2022? We have the Eight of Swords coming out for you. What is this envy? Sorry, I'm just going to move this camera a little bit so I can see it. What is this envy energy about for Group 1 for the rest of 2022? What is this envy energy? Okay, we also have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse position. What is this envy energy about for Group 1 the rest of 2022? Yeah, I'm hearing it's what I've always wanted, but not what I thought I could have. So another 7, this is the Seven of Swords. We might leave it there and then we'll get a clarifying row. We have the Four of Pentacles at the back of your deck. Actually, let's clarify now. Spirit, can we clarify that Eight of Swords? We have the Page of Pentacles reversed. Can we clarify that Seven of Pentacles? Okay, slappity slap. We have the King of Wands. Can we clarify that Seven of Swords too, please? We have the Three of Wands. Okay. So now at the back of the deck, we have the Six of Wands reversed. So I see a main motivator here is definitely peers and people who you were competing with. You saw yourself as at one point being on the same sort of timeline as them. And then for whatever reason, it felt like you were falling behind and you were feeling like they were exceeding where you were failing. I have a feeling that this envy is genuinely envy for some of you on varying levels. Like some of you, this is very jealous energy, while for others of you it feels like you're very uncomfortable with this feeling, but you can't help but feel like you've not failed, you've not succeeded where others have. Now I think with the Six of Wands reversed, some of you are just feeling like you're not getting the recognition for the skills that you have, for the energy that you've put into your projects, and for the hard work that you've offered. And I think that a lot of this has to do with you being in your head with the Eight of Swords as a major theme and the Page of Pentacles, some of you are stuck in who you used to be or what you used to do to get noticed or to feel recognized and seen, and it's no longer working for you. So you've got to think of new ways to get yourself out there. You've got to think of new ways to be seen and new ways to grow. So I see a major theme here being you kind of realizing how much accountability you have to make changes, to guarantee further success for yourself. And some of you were trying to do something that you've already done and it didn't work out. So you're having to think outside the box a little bit and try things differently. I believe that Eight of Swords is a moment of you realizing how much control you do have, but you still feel as though in this situation, it's very difficult to get your head around, well, what's my first step? What is my plan? Where to from here? That first step seems to be a massive question mark. And it could be something that a lot of you struggle with for the rest of the year, especially for as long as you compare yourself to others. Now, with the Seven of Pentacles reversed and the King of Wands upright, I do see this instigating a lot of ambition within you. I see that you will feel like you need to start getting more creative. You need to start kind of being more ambitious in general and thinking further ahead. I see a strategy here, but I also see that whatever plan you put in place for yourself, it's motivated by your ego and your need to be seen as a certain type of person, a successful kind of person in some way. With the Seven of Pentacles reversed, it feels like the goal is to achieve as much as you can in as little time as possible. So you're going to try to push ahead and get results as quickly as possible. There's a very strong instant gratification vibe here. Is there anything else they need to know about that? The Moon reversed. I think that some of you are using this as a distraction and you're not being honest about how you truly feel and what you truly want to do. You're going to discover a lot about yourself in this process though. So as much as you may try to use your plans and your motivation and this sort of ego-based need to be successful as distractions, I see it catching up on you, and I see you having a lot of moments to reflect. So just when you think things are picking up, there's going to be slow moments where you're left alone with your thoughts and you're going to need to learn how to cope with some of your heavier feelings. I see you getting an epiphany in this process, and I see it being a very, okay, so you're trying to speed up the process, Spirit's trying to slow it down and say, listen, group one, there's a lot more to life than just fulfilling other people's expectations of you. So I see this being a very push and pull energy with the universe of learning a lot about yourself on the way, even though you're trying to externalize and project onto others. It's like it's all coming back to you. Now over here with the Seven of Swords and the Three of Wands, I do see this being something that you may struggle with longer than the rest of 2022. Some of you could be on a bit of a soul journey for the next 3 years, trying to figure out, you know, what's out there for you and where to next. This is going to impact your lifestyle. This is going to impact your interests. For some of you, this is looking like a career change, but it just looks like someone who's trying on different clothes and trying to figure out like, well, what's my style? What am I into? How can I present myself to the world? It feels like you're still trying to carve a sense of identity here, and 2022 is you kind of trying on other people's styles and trying to figure out if that's for you. So I do see some of you really obsessing over other people's images or what's worked well for them and trying to copy in that way, and I think that that's a good start in terms of inspiration, but I also see it not being successful until the shoe fits. Spirit's like, this is a bit of a Cinderella story and you have to find your shoe. You can't just keep trying on other people's shoes. So for some of you, this is a very heavy theme, and this is something that you're really going to be challenged with for the rest of 2022. So let's get some closing advice. What is the closing advice for group one with this envy energy? What is the closing advice for group one? Oy. Okay. So I'm seeing that for some of you, travel is in the cards, and you're really being encouraged to take opportunities that are outside of your comfort zone. You're really being encouraged to seek new ways of kind of expressing, exploring, and creating. You're really being encouraged to like flex your sort of skill set and take on as much practical experience and knowledge as you can for the rest of 2022, especially if you're in a position to be able to go somewhere or travel somewhere or do something different or just try something different that you haven't done before. It feels like you're really being encouraged to get out of that comfort zone and to explore something you haven't tried before. The first card we have for you is the Two of Wands in the reverse position. We also have the Princess of Wands in the upright, and we have the Wheel of Fortune upright as well. So as advice, travel is literally in the cards for you. Embracing a change in direction is going to be good for you because it's going to offer you better fortune, first of all, with the Wheel of Fortune here upright. But I feel like this is the case of exposing you to more experiences that can help you figure out what you enjoy doing and what is going to be most sort of attractive to you. I see you ultimately getting to a point where you're well equipped, well skilled to take on multiple different sort of opportunities or ventures, especially if you're lost in your career field. I see you gaining the skill set to be able to be very diverse in how you attract income and create a stable income for yourself. But I think that to do that, you have to gather more experience and just see what you like doing. So don't shy away from travel and experiences that may introduce you to things that you haven't been exposed to yet, especially if this involves being in a different community to what you grew up in, being around different people than to who, you know, your heritage is from. It feels like your clues lie in understanding other forms of people and culture as well, which is interesting. Very diverse energy here. I do see a lot of you being on a bit of a journey with this. Some of you undertaking an apprenticeship or a traineeship, in where you can kind of learn skills in a practical sense, not just theoretically. I think that practical experience is your biggest advice here, to take on projects that can teach you a lot about yourself along the way. It feels like the kind of experience that you learn with time and in the moment. It can't be taught. Someone could tell you this is how you change a washer, you know, in a tap. And you do it, and you know, maybe the hot water system's different, so when you're turning it off you have to be careful and this and that, and it just feels like it's like no two versions of the skill set are the same, and in that sense it can't be taught, it's exposed and experienced. So with the Two of Wands reversed, your other advice is to stick true to who you are and to not get so distracted by other people's needs and interests. And it feels like some of you are very easily, very impressionable, very easily influenced by what other people are doing or by what other people have going on. And Spirit is really encouraging you to stand firm in who you are and to stand true to who you are as well, and explore things that are genuinely interesting to you. I think that the right thing is going to almost be obsessive for you. You're not going to want to give it up. You're going to want to do it all the time. And it's going to be very much like, wow, this is me. It has a sense of identity in it. And so until you get to that point, you've got to try more things, basically. That's what these cards are saying. So that's what I'm seeing for your first theme. A very interesting energy. Let's go to the second theme now. We have the Sun reversed. So this feels like an interesting lesson in happiness and how we choose to externalize moments of joy. So I'm using that word a lot for you because you feel like a group of people who either have a lot of people around you or you have a community around you. And even if it's a healthy community of you know, really loving relationships, it still feels like you are the people who at times get lost in other people. And with the Sun reversed, this is a feeling of knowing where to gain and place your moments of happiness and inspiration. It feels like the rest of 2022 may be a challenge for some of you in terms of your mental health as well, and trying to stay grounded and positive, because there are some harsh realities here with the Sun reverse that are really testing your ability to stay positive. So let's get some tarot out to see what the Sun is talking about. For group 1, please, Spirit. What is this theme looking like for the rest of their 2022? What is this theme looking like for the rest of their 2022? Interesting. Can we clarify the 9 of Wands reversed, please? We have the 5 of Pentacles reversed, okay. Can we clarify the Tower? We have the 8 of Pentacles reversed. Can we clarify the 3 of Pentacles, please, Spirit? We have the King of Swords, and under that is the 9 of Cups. So the goal here is to be happy. That's what the Sun is about for you. The goal here for the rest of 2022 is to prioritize your mental health, your well-being, and to find moments of emotional fulfillment. And I see that this could be in relation to one specific connection that you have in your life that has been really challenging your self-esteem and your happiness, making you feel at times emotionally dependent on that other person to be your source of joy and happiness. So I see you trying to really focus on keeping your emotions in check for yourself, like not trying to be overly dependent on others, not trying to get other people dependent on you, like you just trying to focus on being happy for yourself. It does feel like somebody is heavily influencing this. This person has a hot and cold nature, especially in the first half of the year. They were sometimes here, they were sometimes not here. When they were here, it was very exciting. It was very fun to be around them. Their attention was very sort of a boost to your confidence. But when they weren't here, it just sort of made you feel like you were missing them. You were missing something. So I do see you guys working on your relationships for the rest of the year, not just romantic, people in general, your boundaries and how to be vulnerable in a healthy way, how to facilitate healthy boundaries in a relationship to create sort of emotional stability and intimacy, while also making sure that you're not cutting yourself short with how you let people come towards you. You want to make sure that when people do come into your life or when you do interact with others, you aren't just breaking barriers and bending over backwards. So it does feel like some of this has to do with financial boundaries, like how much money you're willing to actually give to others versus like you having the healthy boundaries to say, actually, like my income is my own. But for others of you, this 5 of Pentacles has a lot to do with you feeling lonely at times. And in those moments of loneliness, it's like a weakness where you allow certain people in who really take advantage of your vulnerable energy. Now, with the Tower and the 8 of Pentacles reversed, it feels like this is something that needs a lot of work, and it could be something that some of you have worked on for a while. And then there's another triggering moment where something changes suddenly and you're forced to kind of go back and try to reevaluate your boundaries all over again. And so it's a learning curve all over again. I feel like a sudden unexpected event causes you to kind of go back and recheck, you know, where am I at with this lesson? Do I need to be more strict, more careful? Or do I need to kind of get some of those boundaries away because clearly it's not working? It feels like a constant state of reevaluation, especially with one key event or one key relationship where you're having to be very careful and mindful of how much you're giving and how much you're getting as well. Now over here, with the 3 of Pentacles and the King of Swords, I feel like for some of you, there's a need here to gain professional support. So the rest of the year could look like you trying to find a way to get the right advice or the right support for what you have going on. Like this feels like a professional telling you how to best work on your relationships and giving you encouraging advice and support on how to gain the most from your relationships in a healthy way, because I'm seeing that you have people around you who don't want to give up on you. Like if you put up boundaries, they're like, okay, cool, no worries, group one. I can work within those boundaries, you know? If this is what you need, if this is what is healthy for you, like I can work with that. So it really feels like you've got people who not only admire your strength in seeking support, but they admire the fact that you're willing to work on this and they want to work on this with you. So this looks like you working with other people and a professional to kind of get this fixed. And for some of you, this could be family counseling, because the Three of Pentacles is my family card. It's more about your close family, like the people in your household or the people who, like your siblings, for example, who you kind of grew up with. But it does feel like we're not afraid to kind of speak our truth with this King of Swords to ensure that the best possible outcome is achieved for everyone's highest good. Instead of just shutting down emotionally and not sharing, we're actually trying to communicate and listen as well. The King of Swords is a very balanced energy of communicating, deciding, but also listening. They have to be able to absorb information in order to come to a decision or offer advice. Is there anything else that group one needs to know about the Sun energy, the Knight of Swords? Don't be afraid to seek advice or help. Don't be afraid to take action towards your mental health in terms of positive action. Don't be afraid to take that next step of what you've been thinking of doing here. Ace of Swords, it really feels like this is that epiphany moment of you prioritizing what matters to you and making sure that you're learning ways of coping with difficult feelings and overwhelming thoughts that you may have been experiencing in order to heal and move forward, repairing relationships that should not be ending just because we're going through a difficult time, just because we don't know how to communicate how we're feeling, or just because we don't know how to convey what we're going through. There are ways to learn how to talk about that without sabotaging those connections, how to connect with our feelings in a healthy way. Despite the distance where we may be feeling, despite our past issues, and despite the secrets or how long this has been held within. Some of you, you're breaking into generational curses or just intergenerational cycles, let's say that, of holding back emotions and how you feel, and you're learning how to communicate that with the people that you love and care about. So let's get you some closing advice for this theme. What is the closing advice for group one with the Sun? What is the closing advice? Okay, closing advice is the Nine of Wands. Which one? This one, the Two of Swords. And the Ten of Cups reversed. Yeah. Don't be ashamed. The feeling that I have here is, oh, but we've always done it this way. We're strong people. We've always done it this way. I see you really breaking out of barriers and just really burning new soil. That's what it feels like. Like, it makes me think that you're a bit of a trailblazer, group one, and it may not feel like that because to you, this is you just trying to find a way of coping, but I see you learning strategies and gaining wisdom that your ancestors or your older family members just don't know how to do, or they just don't have that skill set, that knowledge. Your advice here is that, hell yeah, you're very strong. You come from a strong line of people, strong line of men and women and people within your family. But strength is displayed in so many different ways, group one. And in your case, it takes courage to move forward in this way. It takes courage to seek support in this way. It takes courage to be this kind of vulnerable. And your advice is to not give up with this Nine of Wands. Your advice is you have that strength. You have that courage within you. So don't give up. When it comes to you and securing your happiness, it is essential in this lifetime. Everything else comes and goes. The least you could do is focus on keeping yourself happy through the ups and downs, the highs and lows. With this Nine of Wands, there's a strong feeling of persevering through and acknowledging that this is the one area of your life that needs priority above everything else. This is going to, when you're more sure in how you feel and in how to manage your feelings, then you're going to be more sure in who you are and what path you need to take with this lost feeling of, I don't know who I am and I don't know my identity. I see this issue needing to take priority for the rest of the year. With the Two of Swords, it's highly likely that you're going to need to try multiple strategies. For example, therapists are people, you know, they were all taught differently. They have their own personal bias. They have their own personalities. The first counselor you interact with may not be the one who gets you, but that's fine because there's literally thousands, actually millions of them out there, especially with online portals. I was able to get counseling in America, which is crazy. So, you know, there's so many different ways of accessing support. The Two of Swords is encouraging you to find what suits you and your needs, especially if you are busy and you just want to talk to someone at nighttime. There's a program out there, there's an initiative out there, there's some sort of service out there that can fit that need. There's a strong feeling of whatever you try first, don't make your mind up from that first instance. Keep seeking, keep trying. Now with that 10 of Cups reversed, it does feel like a lot of you need to take a sense of, okay, this is me. Like I'm just trying to work on me. I'm not responsible for you right now. I feel like what you're going to learn could be very helpful to other family members and other key figures in your life in terms of people you care about. But I think that the priority here is to put you first. You have to put the work in for yourself for the rest of 2022. And then when you're in a space where you can bring others on this journey with you, absolutely move forward with them and ensure that in the beginning, you're not trying to fix this as I'm trying to do this for everyone else type of situation. It feels like you're the trailblazer that inspires others to do the same. It's not your responsibility to take everybody else to therapy. So let me just reset my second camera and then we'll talk about your third theme. Okay, having a look at your third theme, we have action reversed. So this is what I was picking up on in the beginning with you. I was feeling like you want to kind of plow forward. You're very ambitious. You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. You have heavy expectations. But the universe is saying, slow down. We're not quite there yet. The universe is encouraging you to be more mindful, and they're actually putting certain roadblocks in your way with action reversed to ensure that your priorities are straight and to ensure that you're only taking on as much as you can handle. So let's clarify what that action card actually means for you, Group 1. Spirit, what does that action card mean for Group 1 as we finish 2022? Yeah, we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, definitely trying to slow you down to ensure that you don't take on too much, but to also make sure you're not pursuing the wrong things. The Six of Pentacles reversed. What does that action card mean for Group 1 and the rest of their 2022? We also have the 10 of Cups upright. Can I clarify that Wheel of Fortune reversed? We have Judgment. Can we clarify that Six of Pentacles, please? The Six of Pentacles. We have the Devil card. And what about that 10 of Cups? We have the Knight of Pentacles. So strong Pentacles energy. We have a bit of Scorpio, Capricorn, Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces. That's all I'm really seeing. Some Aries and Leo as well. Just in case those signs are significant as key people in the rest of your 2022. Very strong Leo, strong sense of pride and purpose in your reading and needing to do what is right. The thing about this action energy reversed is you're actually not selfish people at all. You're not, and you're being called to be for the rest of the year. You're being called to be in a state where you're putting your own needs first, because some of you have people who depend on you, like children or your carers, and it's really important that you take care of yourself first to continue to put yourself under the amount of pressure that you've been under, the amount of weight of responsibility that you've had on your shoulders. You have to start prioritizing yourself. I see your priorities becoming very tunneled in the sense of certain things are going to fall away for the rest of the year. The universe is going to give you a huge wake-up call here with the Judgment card, a sense of like, wow, this is crazy. I can't avoid this anymore. I have to start paying attention and I have to start doing what I need to do to get my life back on track. For some of you, this Wheel of Fortune reversed is turning you right back around and forcing you to face something in your past that you had put behind you, and it is going to really grab your attention. With that Six of Pentacles reversed, this situation is all about how much you give and how much you receive again from others, and being put in situations where you have a heavy level of expectation on you. It may not be spoken, but it's implied. And with the Devil here, it represents this cycle of feeling dependent on others and other people feeling dependent on you. For some of you, this is financial dependence. Like some of you have people who expect you to bail them out of tough situations and you to kind of pay off their debts or get their fees paid so that they don't have to be put in that compromising position. Others of you are dealing with a financial situation that feels very oppressing, and it feels like there's got to be a better way to do this. There's got to be a better way to manage this kind of debt, or there's got to be a better way to pay off this loan. So refinancing could be an option there. Otherwise, it just feels like a very oppressing situation in which you're expected to give more than is necessary. And some of you running to other people as well and using certain things as scapegoats and distractions instead of focusing on the overall issue. Instead of just, you know, borrowing that $50 for the week, why don't we put a healthy plan in place to ensure that our finances are better managed long term? That's what it kind of feels like. So it depends on where you're at with that. But your bottom deck energy as the Lovers, it just feels like you're being forced to do a lot of self-reflection and a lot of like really... It's not even like you gazing at the sky, and it's like you're staring at yourself in the mirror. You know, you can't even be philosophical. You're being forced to examine every flaw and every sort of issue that has been holding you back. And so it feels like a huge awakening moment. It feels very, oh my gosh, like I'm seeing sides of myself that I didn't even know, because the universe is forcing you to. The universe is taking away the distractions and forcing you to take this hard look in the mirror. And what you're going to notice is eventually what truly matters for you. Once these distractions are taken away, once some of these opportunities are taken away that you've been sort of idolizing or prioritizing, with the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, you're going to realize exactly what deserves your emotional self, the best version of yourself emotionally, as well as your time and your money. Because time, sorry group one, we were cut off because my camera stopped recording. But as I was saying over here, time is ultimately the most precious commodity in this lifetime, because we can't replace it, we can't buy more of it. So I see you eventually learning that this year, and it feels like a very self-conscious thing to learn, because there is a feeling of guilt behind all of this. And I think that the sooner you can overcome that feeling of guilt and just focus on what you have currently and what you have left to focus on and what you have left to cherish and to make the most of the time with, that's going to help you kind of get over that feeling of guilt. But another thing that I picked up, I split the deck and I got the Ace of Cups. So I feel for you, group one, as you close 2022, all of this reflection, all of this self-work, this scrutinizing is going to help prepare you for new relationships, new friendships, and new emotional opportunities with your existing important people, to ensure that you're developing those relationships and those emotional, intimate connections in a healthy way, in a more balanced way, and in a way that can offer more growth, right? That's the healthy way to maintain a relationship, is to ensure that there is the opportunity for the two of you, whoever you are, to continue to grow within that connection. So let's get some closing advice for that third theme. What is the closing advice for group one with their action theme? What is the closing advice for group 1 with their action theme? We have the Moon reversed. That card has been coming out in every deck for you. What is the closing advice? We have the Ten of Swords reversed. Closing advice for group 1. We have the Two of Pentacles upright with the Four of Swords at the back of the deck. So Spirit is really encouraging you to give yourself as much time as you need to in this area of your life. It's important that you prioritize what actually matters to you over here and that you're honest with your feelings. I feel like with the Four of Swords reversed, you've got to be patient with yourself because this is you taking on a lot. And it feels like the main reason you should be doing all of this is for yourself, for your own heart space. You're still coming out of a period of inaction, so you've got to be patient with yourself along the way. And you've got to make sure that if you do fall back and relapse into old patterns and behaviors, that you're not too hard on yourself to the point where you beat yourself down and you feel that guilt, and that guilt keeps you stuck in that relapsed behavior. You try and try again, because what I'm seeing here with the Moon reversed is that this is going to illuminate a lot for you. This theme is going to highlight a lot of key issues as well as a lot of key opportunities. With that Moon reverse, the more open, honest, and emotionally aware we are, the better, because we're shedding light on a very dark situation in which a lot has been kept secret from us due to our confusion or due to our distraction or due to us pretending it wasn't there and feeling lied to and lying to ourselves. The Moon reversed is really about shining a light on that which has remained in the dark for so long. So a lot is going to come out from this. With this Ten of Swords reversed, I'm hearing it's not too late. So Spirit is really encouraging you to end this tough cycle as soon as possible for yourself. It's important that you are patient with yourself along the way, but it really isn't too late for you, Group 1. There's still a lot of opportunity in your lifetime to gain the joy, the connection, and the emotional intimacy that you deserve from the people who are important and from those who are yet to cross paths with you. I see that it's ultimately up to your actions, okay? It's your actions here with Gemini, and literally twice. It's up to you and what you choose to do. So the Two of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck is a reminder of getting your priorities straight and making time for what matters for you, what matters to you, and what is of high importance to for you as well. So that Two of Pentacles is ultimately a little bit goes a long way as long as you're consistent. If you don't have a lot of time, just do what you can, but be consistent. This card is strong energy of a routine as well, and implementing a routine that works for you, implementing something regularly, as however small it is, that works for you. Because even if you can't do 3 hours or 4 hours a day or whatever this is, whatever this practice is, a little bit here and there goes a long way. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Group 1. When it comes to the rest of your 2022, that is the prediction that I have for you. I'm going to take this into the extended reading now, where we will break this down into 3 new categories. We're going to have a look at what the rest of 2022 has in store for you when it comes to love, your finances, and general. So we're going to look at it generally, and that may be where your family stuff comes out or where your friendships come out, but we're also going to separate love and finances. So if you would like to join me there, the link to the extended is in the description box. It's all ready to go. I shall see you there. Before you go, wherever you're going, thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you for supporting me, this community, and free tarot in general. It's been a pleasure to read for you, Group 1, and I hope to connect with you very, very soon. Bye! Hi Group 2, and welcome to your reading. If you chose this agate crystal or the Gentle Heart Tarot deck, then this is going to be your reading for 2022. I'm going to put this deck to the side because we're actually going to start with an oracle deck today. We're asking Spirit for the rest of 2022. We're getting predictions. We're going to look at what's in store for you. What else do I need to tell you? It's going to be a pretty juicy reading. I'm going to break it down by doing 3 cards. So if you haven't seen me do this layout, I do it a lot on my second channel, which I would have explained in the intro. We're going to get 3 cards, which will tell us the main 3 themes that you can expect to experience for the rest of 2022. I'll then be clarifying with tarot, and we're going to get advice as well for each of the 3 respective themes. So let's start. For Groupus Tupus, those who picked the Agate and the Pastel Journey Tarot deck by Vanessa Samina, what are their 3 key themes for the rest of 2022, please, Spirit? For Group 2, we have All Tied Up in the reverse position. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There you go. What are the key 3 themes for the rest of 2022 for group number 2? We have Cornucopia coming out for you in the reverse position. What is the last key theme that group 2 can expect to experience for the rest of 2022? Group 2, please, Spirit. Rest of 2022. There's a card in here that wants to come out. Is that what we're going with? It's not the card I thought was going to come out, but we'll go with it. At the back of the deck, we have Yin Yang reversed, and the last card for you is First Chakra, Archangel Michael. It's not the card that I thought was going to come out, but it is what it is. So with Yin Yang at the back of the deck, I feel like this year is all about the energy you put out and the energy that you choose to withhold. There is a feeling here of trying to switch things up and make adjustments necessary to ensure that you're attracting exactly what you want. I feel like you may need to be very careful about what you put out there. And some of you guys are going to get the chance to just kind of reevaluate, okay, how is this not working? How is my manifestation not working? How is my current timeline not working for me? What changes can I put in place to ensure that I'm getting the best possible outcome for myself in this situation? This card reverse does make me think of like you pulling things apart, analyzing it, and then trying to figure out how to put it all back together. For some of you, this does have to do with your spiritual practices, your meditation, or your manifestation practice. What isn't working, what is working, and how can we get it to work better? So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to talk about one theme at a time. I learned the hard way that it's a lot easier to do it like this so that we're keeping it as less, as less confusing as possible. So let's talk about your first theme over here with the All Tied Up reverse, the number 23. We actually have a progression. We've got 22 and 23. We also have 11. So the number 11 is very significant. Mirroring is significant in your group as well. But for this card to be reversed, it makes me think that you're getting yourself out of a situation that you may have been stuck in for quite some time. With All Tied Up reversed, I can't help but feel a sense of liberation. And I feel like you're changing, or the pace of something in your life is changing so that you're no longer stuck. You're no longer feeling trapped. And for some of you, you're just getting this feeling of release, like I'm moving forward, I'm moving through. So let's clarify what that All Tied Up theme is about for group 2, please, Spirit. Wow. Yeah, ending a tough cycle for some of you. Ending a tough cycle. Justice has to be upright though. So we have to do it the right way. We can't just leave spitefully. We can't leave with bad karma, otherwise we're putting bad karma onto ourselves. We have to do what will make us happy, but we have to do also what is best for us in that situation. So what is going on with that All Tied Up energy for group 2, please, Spirit? We have the 8 of Wands coming out upright. What is going on with that All Tied Up energy for group 2? Please ignore him. He's being so rude. I'm done. I'm genuinely not having it. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. Okay, I'm going to clarify all these cards straight away as well. What is going on with that 8 of Wands, please, Spirit, with this All Tied Up energy? The Ace of Wands in the reverse position. Okay, what about that Queen of Pentacles? What is going on with that Queen of Pentacles energy for group 2? They want 2 cards, the Strength card reverse and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. What about that Queen of Swords, please, Spirit? We have the Ace of Cups reversed. At the back of the deck, we do have the Moon reversed. So, my gosh, for some of you, this is definitely a love situation, but I don't want to treat it like that because I think that it's a theme that is impacting your love life. And if you're single, it's a theme that's impacting your ability to attract love and genuine love as well. The Moon reverse tells me that there have been a lot of things hiding in the shadows, in your peripherals, in your confusion, in any delay or hesitancy you've had to making yourself more emotionally available. I see you opening up. I see you being more emotionally available, but I also see you being more truthful, group 2. I see you having the opportunity to shed light on your confusion by choosing to communicate and share intimate feelings with the right people. I'm hearing key people, so it's not that they're the right people, it's just that these are the key people who play a role in this theme. Spirit, why is there more than one? The King of Wands. I feel like you're very attractive, group 2, and I think that there's one person that's really standing out, but I see that to get their attention or to get things moving in the right direction, you may be getting advice from multiple people. You may be looking for support from multiple people, which involves you being vulnerable and honest with yourself about how you're feeling and about what you want in this situation. I see some of you keenly manifesting someone or an outcome, like a specific relationship, very keenly. And it feels like you're also attracting a lot of attention in the process. The Empress reversed. No, you only want one thing. You're not here for everyone. You're like, I just want one specific thing. Okay, that's interesting though. With the Tower. I just feel like this energy is moving towards you very quickly, group 2. I think that all tied up is saying like you've gone from a period of not much has been happening and then all of a sudden it's all happening at once with the 8 of Wands and the Ace of Wands here. Some of you are getting the chance to redo something that didn't work out well the first time around. A feeling of like a false start or a chemistry situation, a situation that you had a lot of interest in or a person that you had a lot of chemistry with, it didn't get off the ground, so you're getting the chance to do it over. I just see as well, there's a message here of if it doesn't work out, trust that it didn't work out for a reason and let it move into your past so that you can clear room for the right thing in your future. That's what that false start feeling feels like. These things have to fall to the wayside in order for the right opportunity to move towards you. And had that not happened, you may not have had the chance to absorb the right outcome. So I feel like there may be some false starts here or some would have, could have, should have moments where it feels like things are kicking off for you. And then all of a sudden, the energy becomes stagnant. And I see you eventually getting out of that cycle, but I think that when it does happen, it's going to happen either quickly or just in a way where you almost don't have to try. It just feels almost natural in a way. Like an 8 of Wands energy is very fast moving. And we almost can't stop it if we want to, you know? So I just think that the right thing is almost going to be a lot easier than the wrong things that seem to fall apart and leave you feeling very confused and very isolated and questioning whether they want you as much as you do if this is a love situation. Otherwise, I just see you guys gaining a lot of confidence and being able to shed light on some of the shadows and confusion that you've had in how you're able to progress and be successful in 2022. I'm seeing a theme here with the Queen of Pentacles and this Knight of Pentacles reversed of getting on track with the right path to success. So some of you are changing plans, you're changing goals, you're changing approaches, you're changing careers. It feels like we're definitely changing with this Knight of Pentacles reversed because it's not the best way to get to our guaranteed success. So we're not too prideful to admit that this isn't working to our best potential. And we're willing to kind of lay down belly up and go, someone help me please. So I see some of you guys admitting that you need support with something here. And I want to say that it feels like it has to do with your sense of success. But I also feel like this is heavily connected to this love situation as well that some of you have found yourself in. So I apologize that I'm splitting this group up. But for those who are very focused on career, I see you needing to kind of get support and get help to make sure that what isn't fundamentally working works. And this feels very logistical. It feels like we're trying to streamline a process, or we're trying to kind of make something easier. We're trying to be more realistic about how much time we have. So we're trying to make sure that we're working with the right guidelines or the right programs to make that process easier. And for others of you, this is just about ensuring that you're not limiting your ability to succeed within a financial space, so that you're taking advantage of opportunities that are out there. So changing something up that isn't fundamentally working. Now, in a relationship sense, I feel like this is playing out as you finding the steps that you need to get the outcome that you want. And it feels like security. This Queen of Pentacles wants long-term security. They want marriage, or they want a significant partnership that is solid, reliable, dependable, secure. So it feels like you have to kind of go into a different lane to do that with the Knight of Pentacles reversed. You can't just expect to meet that eligible bachelor in the clubs anymore, or you can't just expect to meet them online. Like, there's a different way of doing this, and I think that that is going to help you feel more liberated as well. For some of you, it's about trying a different approach in general in order to get closer to your version of success. It's like we're compromising how we do it and the traditional structure of how we would do it to ensure a long-term success instead. Now, over here with the Queen of Swords upright and the Ace of Cups reversed, I feel like this is you realizing that in the grand scheme of things, you're going to have to make some sacrifices in order to, again, get things moving in the right direction. So this feels like you figuring out what is worth sacrificing for the sake of fulfilling this idea that you want for yourself versus what is too much. And I'll be honest, I see some of you giving too much initially. I see some of you sacrificing too much initially with the Ace of Cups reversed. Some of you are also being very stoic and cold here, and you're being highly observant, but you're not actually communicating enough. You have a very guarded energy here in how you choose to connect emotionally. And it feels like in general, you're being very specific about who and how you open up. So there's certain people that get to see that vulnerable side of you when it's in your best interest. But as soon as it's not in your best interest, it's like you clam up. It's like, even though in the grand scheme of things, this could be very helpful, you're choosing to just kind of clam up and go, nah, I'm not wanting to show weakness and be vulnerable. And that's why that moon is reversed, because you have to learn the balance here. You have to learn to give in order to receive. And sometimes being so observant is causing so much internalization that it's actually creating more confusion. The answers you seek could be on the other side of that communication bridge that you've blocked off. So it's a very interesting energy as the first theme. Spirit, what is the advice here for group, I'm about to say one again, for group 2 in their first theme? What is the advice? We have the 3 of Wands in the reverse position. What is the advice with all tied up? Okay, and we have the 5 of Swords reversed with the 8 of Wands upright. They really want you to communicate more with this theme. The best way that you could remove blockages and remove stagnancy and help liberate yourself from situations that you feel stuck in is to transform them with communication. This last Judgment card is almost about receiving a profound message of awareness from the universe. And the universe is saying, wake up, group 2, this is what you need to do. So your advice is to pay attention to the warning signs, to the red flags within your own behavior and within the behavior of others. And your advice here is to liberate yourself by paying attention more to what is required in that situation, whether it's to be vulnerable, to be open, or to be this sort of bird's eye view observant energy. I feel like you're going to have to feel the situation out, because movement is definitely the focus of this theme. Getting out of a feeling of being stuck is the focus, and expanding your horizon too soon is the concern, because you're just going to clam up as soon as it feels too scary or too confronting or too emotionally taxing. It feels like we need to do this slowly, and we need to feel our way through it as well, and figure out how to be more open and honest in this situation. With the Three of Wands reversed, group 2, I almost feel like Spirit is saying you've got to try something new if you want to really get this manifestation going. You've got to try a different way of doing this. If what you've been doing isn't working, try a different approach. It's like that analogy of turn around. The answers are right behind you. You know, you can't just wait for this to happen. You have to give as well. With the Five of Swords reversed, I feel like some of you guys need to be more consistent with your actions and your communication. You can't expect to fix this all in one failed swoop. You know, like maybe you're thinking, oh, if I just, you know, I tried once and it didn't work. Well, listen, you might have to try again and again and again. There's this strong feeling with the Five of Swords reversed of not letting your defeats measure your losses, because it's that analogy of we lost the battle but won the war. And I hope that resonates, but it feels like you beat yourself up over the small stuff here, and that's causing you to feel even more stuck and helpless and hopeless, when actually there's a lot more that we could do over there. So that's what I'm seeing for your first theme. It's very cryptic. I think it's because I'm only able to do 3 groups, but I definitely recommend journaling and writing that down just to take out key messages that resonate, and to ensure that you're not accidentally blurring it as well, because this is a general reading. I have a feeling that that message could apply to different aspects of your life, considering we got love messages and we also got career messages. So take what resonates there, sweets. We're going to move forward to your second theme now with cornucopia reverse. Now, I do see success for your group, absolutely, but I also see with cornucopia reverse that it may not happen the way that you're expecting. There's something here that isn't quite guaranteed yet, because it has to change. It feels like the harvest isn't what we originally planted. So, Spirit, why is cornucopia reversed? What's going on here? Is this card accidentally flipped? Oh, okay. Spirit, why is cornucopia reversed for group 2? Because I still see it as a success card, but I just think it's interesting that it's reversed. I'm not sure why. We have, oh, the Page of Pentacles, Princess of Pentacles. Why is cornucopia reversed? What is this theme? We have the Two of Swords. Okay. What is this theme for group 2? We have the Fool upright. Okay, it's starting to come together. Can I clarify that Page of Pentacles, please, Spirit? We have the Ten of Cups in the reverse position. What about that Two of Swords? May I please clarify the Two of Swords for group 2? We have the King of Pentacles reversed. What about that Fool card, Spirit? Hi, what's going on down here? Okay. We have the King of Cups reversed. So much insecurity. At the back of the deck, we have the Three of Pentacles reversed. So you're interesting, my group 2s. You're someone that has so much, but I feel like you're also either very critical on yourself, like it's giving me Virgo vibes, or you're just not recognizing how some of these harmless insecurities are definitely creating blockages in your overall goals. Oh my God, I've got to close that door, excuse me. Sorry, group 2. I had to close that door. He's being very rude on purpose, yelling right there when he knows I'm filming. Anyway, as I was saying, it feels like some of your harmless insecurities or self-deprecating dialogue is actually really standing in the way of some of your success. Now, I don't see this being a huge issue for a lot of you, so I don't want to dwell on that. I just want to point it out and let's move forward. With the Three of Pentacles reversed, the key message here is to really consider who you collaborate with and who you choose to work with in order to get closer to what you're doing. It makes me think that not everybody who's reaching out to you is going to be helpful. So I feel like there's an energy of a snake in the grass, and I don't see it as being genuinely deceitful, but it feels like it is sabotaging our success, where we may be trying to expand or trying to get further. Even in a study capacity, I could see how a group work activity could really take a toll on your final grade in the second half of the year, or in the first half of the year if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and your semester starts in August. It feels like you've got to be very careful about who you choose to associate with in order to get further and work on group projects, because not everybody has your best interest at heart. And it does feel like for many of you, the next 6 months, you're going to have a change of heart in some sense. You're going to feel differently about what matters to you, about who is important, and about what is important as well. I see with the Page of Pentacles upright that many of you are realizing that there's a whole world out there to experience. And as you start something new and exciting for yourself that has you feeling like a young, underskilled energy again, you're going to realize that what you really cared about before is slightly different now. And I think that this is a case of you naturally evolving and growing as a person, but I also see that it's going to come with bittersweet feelings. You're creating new memories, but you're still feeling sentimentally attached to who you once were. And so you're healthily figuring out how to foster this new potential, this new path for yourself. And some of you are starting study, or you're starting work, or you're starting some sort of new interest that has you developing in a different way, and it kind of makes you feel like you're outgrowing people fairly quickly, if I might add. With the Two of Swords here and the King of Pentacles reversed, I do feel like there's a feeling of insecurity that is holding you back. I see the King of Pentacles as someone who's hypercritical and really just hard on themselves. Someone who's telling themselves like it's never enough, and who's kind of overworking themselves and just kind of really throwing themselves into their goals in an unhealthy, obsessive way. And with the Two of Swords here, it feels like some of our actions are thwarted by this desire, this need to be more successful and more, and it's like you can have that, but I don't see you celebrating enough in the next 6 months, and I don't see you appreciating how much you've already created. And I see that this incessant need to have more in a material sense could be sabotaging the decisions that you make, because again, not everything is worth investing in. Some people will come across as being very helpful, or appearing very helpful, and saying, you know, I want to do this for you, and let's work together. And I just think that with the Two of Swords here, that's probably something that you need to think through more before you commit yourself to it. I hope that makes sense. It feels like a very specific message for this group. But the other message that I'm getting is that your success here is very under-tapped, underutilized. There is another stream of income that you could be tapping in, or there is another way of being more autonomous, more kind of independent, and more, I want to say more successful, but I feel like it's a version of success that you may struggle to prioritize because you're trying not to take on more responsibility. You just want to be happier. And the thing about this energy is it feels like it can do both, but you're only seeing it as, oh, it's only going to give me more responsibility. And you're afraid of going back around that hill again, back around the twist again with that level of responsibility. I see some of you may have demoted yourself to make life easier. And I think that there's a way to have your cake and eat it, to be utilized for the skill set that you have, while also ensuring that you're paying the bills, you know, without overstressing yourself, and being able to kind of focus on living, not just working. So it does feel like a lot of you guys are trying to readjust your work-life balance in this theme, and you're trying to find a dynamic that suits you and that's healthy for you. And I've got to be honest, group 2, you feel like a huge group, so it's not going to be the same for all of you. Some of you want to work more, some of you want to work less. But finding that balance seems to be a key part of this theme in order to ensure your needs are met and that your goals are being ticked Lastly, we have the Fool with the King of Cups reversed. And I feel like all these Kings reversed are an interesting feeling of things brewing under the surface for you, especially this King of Cups. I see a new opportunity in the Fool, but I see that this opportunity has been something that you've either been wanting or hoping for, because it feels like we cleared baggage to get to this point. We worked through issues to get to this point. We did the hard work to get to this point. We're starting with a completely blank, fresh start at this point. And with the King of Cups reversed, this feels like a situation that could be, first of all, impacting you emotionally, or just challenging you emotionally. What else can you tell group 2 about this? The Three of Wands reversed. So it's highly likely that this is something you've already invested in by June, and then through July to December, you're trying to find a new way to approach this area of your life. So this could be connected to that. Cornucopia. How do I be successful emotionally and materially? How can I guarantee success emotionally and materially? We got the Eight of Cups. What are they walking away from? The Queen of Wands. Okay. I see some of you changing the people that you're attracted to, or the people that you choose to kind of gravitate towards. If you're not seeking romance, it's friendship. You may be usually attracted to a specific type of person, and you may seek connections in a specific way. I see that changing in the next half of the year, mostly because you want to try something different. It didn't work last time. Let's try something different. So I'm going to try attract a different kind of person, and hopefully it ends in a better way. The outcome is better this time. We're very disappointed in what happened last time. Some of you guys had a really bad friendship in the first part of the year, or you've just been without friends for a while, focusing on yourself is what it feels like. Is there anything else you can tell them about this King of Cups Fool energies, please, Spirit? Ace of Swords. So for most of you, this feels new. Like, I know that the energy could have been invested in June, but it still feels new. It's not like an ex or an old friend coming back. It feels like a new person, and this person is a part of us turning over a new leaf or starting a new chapter. It feels very fresh, and it feels like we had to clear baggage to get to this point. So why are they in the cornucopia pile, Spirit? Seven of Swords. Eek. This person could be a distraction from what you're currently working on, not in a bad way, but they seem to have a way of like stealing your attention away from other things. So if you aren't experiencing as much success in other areas of your life, or especially towards your goals, it's probably because somebody's got your attention and you caught feelings for them in the second half of the year. Okay, let's get advice, please, Spirit. I feel like we covered so many tangents there. Surely something resonates for you. Let's get advice for this cornucopia. What is the advice with this cornucopia theme for group 2? Okay, we got the Ace of Wands reversed again. That is just like your vibe, sweet pea. We also have the Nine of Swords reversed. What is the advice for group 2 with cornucopia? We have the King of Swords and we have the Six of Cups reversed. So Spirit is asking you to really learn from your past in this energy. Spirit is saying that there are people who are still in your present energy from your past who survived the purge-apocalypse that you had. You know, it feels like some of you guys purged and were like, I'm not bringing everybody into my next year. You know, I'm not bringing everybody into Christmas and New Year's with me. But the people who did stay are going to be very helpful in getting advice about your cornucopia blockages. When you feel like you're struggling to work towards your goals, or when you need support to get back on track with something that you really want to work out for you, those people from your past who are your ride or dies are going to be the most helpful in getting you through that by grounding you and reminding you of who you are at your core, despite the changes you've been through, despite the growth you've experienced, and despite the new opportunities that you have. At your core, they're going to know you well enough to give you the best advice. I see with the Ace of Wands reversed, there is a feeling here of rekindling passion in a different way. And I feel like the advice here is to try not to let passion be your sole purpose, because I'm also seeing that you're my group that gets distracted, and you need to stay grounded, and you need to stay present, and you need to stay practical. If you have a list of things to do, be realistic, but make sure that you do work through that list. Try not to get too distracted and dreamy and dissociated. So I feel like that Ace of Wands reversed is really Sorry, group 2, we got cut off by my other camera, which I forgot to reset. So I've got to repeat myself a little bit. I can't even remember what my train of thought was. I was wrapping up this Ace of Wands and I was just reminding you to stay grounded and to not get distracted by your passion and by what you're attracted to and what you're obsessed about that week or that month or that day, and to try to keep practical and keep ticking those lists that you set for yourself. Keep sticking to those routines that you've set for yourself as well, to not get carried away in the little fickle obsessions along the way. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm saying that it's going to be a lot easier to clear out this road to success if you maintain that consistency and try not to get too carried away with whatever the flavor of the month seems to be. So let's talk about this Nine of Swords again. It's again for me, but it's the first time for you. So this Nine of Swords is a strong feeling of keeping a clear head and learning how to trust the thoughts that you're having. I'm seeing with this card that some of you are either struggling with insecurities or fears, and these thoughts are very strong and very able to talk you down from your potential. These are the kind of thoughts that convince you to back down instead of show out. And that's why it's so important that you reach out to those people that know you well, that you love and that love you, to ensure that you're not self-sabotaging, and to ensure that if you're faced with a situation where you're experiencing a lot of anxiousness, nervousness, or fear, these people can help ground you, and they can say, hey, group 2, I think you're self-sabotaging again. Or they can say, hey, group 2, that is a major red flag. Like, there's a strong reason why you are feeling nervous, because that is very questionable. So that's what I'm seeing with the Nine of Swords as advice, is just to keep a clear channel, a clear head, clear thinking, by deciphering through some of our helpful and unhelpful fears and intrusive thoughts. Lastly, we have this King of Swords reverse. This is where I got up to before my camera stopped, so I'm just trying to like check, like, are you still recording? Okay, so that King of Swords reversed, it's just this overall feeling of you having your mind kind of wiped clean. It almost feels like whatever you started this year thinking or imagining is going to be very different to what you imagine at the end of the year. I see like most of you guys going, you know what? I just haven't made my mind up yet. I don't really know what my happily ever after looks like. I don't really know what my version of success looks like. I don't really know what I want to do in life yet. Or my goals, my vision, my desires have changed, and I don't know exactly what they are anymore. It feels like we haven't yet made our mind up. And with that card being reversed, Spirit is strongly encouraging that if something doesn't feel right, if something doesn't look right, if something doesn't sound right, don't force it to be. Don't settle into that contract. Don't force that partnership to happen, or don't kind of make a decision prematurely, essentially. Until you have all the information, I would really encourage that you don't pigeonhole yourself into anything for the rest of the year. That's what that gives me the vibes of. So let's continue forward. We're going to have a look at your third theme now, group 2. Your third theme over here is Archangel Michael, your first chakra. Very attractive archangel. How dare we? Are we allowed to do that? Can we just like check out an angel like that? I know I'm not the only one that does it. I follow so many readers and we all do it. Now, this last card for you, this theme, Sweet Pea, it has a lot to do with stability, new beginnings, and just making sure that whatever you do choose to create in the, I want to say, better half of the year for you, because this part of the year is going to have a lot of movement. You're trying to make sure that it is lasting, that it is stable, and that it is successful. So I do see you starting something new over here. I just want to figure out what it is. What is this first chakra energy for group 2 for the rest of 2022, please, Spirit? What is this first chakra energy for group 2? We have the Seven of Wands reversed. Interesting. What is this first chakra energy for group 2 in their second half of the year? We also have the Seven of Swords. So 2 7 cards. I feel divine intervention here for sure. For sure. One more card, please, Spirit, for the top row. What is going on with that first chakra energy? Oh, We have the Magician. Wow, very manipulative, very conniving, very careful. I'm only going to show you as much as I want you to see. Ooh, okay. What are you keeping under wraps? What are you hiding? Can we clarify that Seven of Wands, please? What's going on here? We have the Six of Wands. Ow, I love that for you. What about the Seven of Swords for group 2? Oh my Lord, we have the Emperor. Do we want him upright? That sounds terrible. How is he going to sit? He's upright. Okay. What about the Magician? Ay, Dios mío. Let's put that back in the deck. What's going on with this Magician, please, Spirit? We have Judgment. Judgment. Honestly, there's a lot of Pluto Aquarius energies. I think Judgment is Pluto, but for you, I'm feeling Uranus as well, because I'm just feeling like you're reinventing your circumstances, and the second half of the year is probably going to be your best year. I see you showing up and showing out, okay? So if something was not going to according to plan, I see you not being afraid to check it and put it back into its place in order to get yourself where you need to be. I do see you making things look good for appearance sake, but I also just see you changing plans, changing directions as well, not being afraid to kind of talk about what isn't working and to change strategy in order to get things to work the way that they're meant to. The back of the deck, we do have the Devil reverse. So I definitely see my group 2s breaking out of stagnancy, breaking out of unhelpful situations. I see my group 2s changing their behaviors to ensure that they're not self-sabotaging. I see my group 2s taking more responsibility and not making excuses anymore. But more than anything, I just see you guys genuinely believing that life can be better and can get better and things can be different. I see a blind sort of confidence about this, but I think that that's where you need to be for the second half of the year to ensure that when you start something or when you go into something new, you're really grabbing it by the balls and going, this is mine. And this is a very masculine way of doing things. There's heavy masculine energy over here, really strong masculine energy, but it's balanced by this feminine need to kind of prove people wrong, if that makes sense. Like, it feels like the oppressed is becoming not the oppressor, but like you're free. And you're trying to show, like, this is what I can do. This is what I'm capable of. Don't underestimate me. So it's interesting energy. And I've thrown out some really heavy words like out there, like oppressed. And I apologize if that's very triggering. I don't mean to label you and your circumstances. But I just see that you're definitely approaching the second half of the year with caution, but with this need to be successful. And I see over here, you guys may need to be careful about how much validation you put on other people's opinions of you, only because the Seven of Wands reversed is a feeling of getting to choose when to invest your energy and how to kind of overcome a challenge. It feels like you're trying a different approach because maybe you don't need to win that situation over. You don't need to prove yourself in that situation. But with the Six of Wands upright, you're also kind of just falling into what is comfortable, what you've already worked for you, what has been successful, instead of pushing your limits too far. So I do see you guys gaining success, but I see you guys just riding a wave, you know, like this is what worked for me before, so I'm just going to keep doing this. How do we feel about that? Is that good or is that bad? The Four of Swords, it's necessary because you've got other things going on. So you can't be too hard on yourself. You can't push things to their limits. And you've just got to take life as it happens. So I see some things happening unexpectedly for you in the second half of the year. So you're going to have to just kind of follow the trend of what worked for you in the past and not expect too much from yourself here. You're very scattered. I apologize about that. I'm trying to be as clear as I can, group 2. I just think you're a very big group. The other energy that I'm picking up in this theme with the Seven of Swords and the Emperor is this feeling of being selective about how much information you put out there. I see you guys going on ghost mode for social media. Some of you guys just being very selective over who's looking at your stories, or just being very selective over what you post, what public image you portray. I see some of you guys putting on a persona or a mask and kind of like operating under a Finsta, like a fake account, or just being very selective about who you share your information with because you're trying to get control back. You don't want everybody to kind of influence you and to potentially jeopardize what you're working on. And you're working on something big. You're doing it from the grassroots up too. So your goal is to go from this stable foundation into a strong, stable tower. And your way of getting there is by assuming all control and limiting external influences. So it feels like for some of you, there is a strong feeling of like growing up here and taking things into your own hands and doing things the way that you need to. And I feel like this is really, like, this is a proud moment for you, especially if you get to do something for the first time in the next couple of months. It's like, I'm so proud of myself right now, but not everybody needs to share this with me. Not everybody needs to know about this. I'm going to be very specific about who I share this news with. And lastly, with the Magician upright and Judgment, I just feel like given the chance to do things differently, you're going to try to do things differently. You're not going to go back around that roundabout. You're not trying to win everyone over. You're just trying to put what it matters out there, and you're just trying to do this for you. I do see some of you guys feigning some sort of image or confidence, faking it till you make it type of energy. But I also think that this is the way that seems to work for you. Like, you're putting that successful thing out there, and it's the universe is, you're almost tricking the universe into going, oh yeah, let's give them more of that, you know, because your energy's there. Even if you don't have it, your energy's there, so you're attracting more of it. There's a strong feeling here of reinventing yourself in the second half of the year and reworking the energy by learning from what hasn't worked, learning from your losses so that you can win the war, right? We didn't win the battle, so let's win the war. Is there anything else that I'm seeing there? I definitely feel like you're trying to create something new in the next half of the year, and I do see that being successful. I think that it can only be successful if only key people are involved. You don't need everybody to be involved, and you do need to get out of your head and start putting steps in place. It's going to be hard to focus your energy. Energy keeps being brought up. The fact that your energy gets distracted, or you get distracted, or you procrastinate, your energy goes from this to that to this to that. So you've got to stay focused. There's also going to be some sudden unexpected changes in the second half of the year, which is why you've got to just do what works. You can't afford to be too creative with this. You just have to kind of stick to the basic template and then make it more extravagant as it goes on. Is there any advice here you have for them, Spirit? What is the advice for this theme? Okay, we have the Princess of Pentacles. This Page of Pentacles, you guys might be earth signs or air signs, because it's a very almost practical but analytical energy. We have the King of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, very strong earth sign energy. What is the advice here with this root chakra energy, Spirit, for group 2? We have a Knight of Wands showing up as well. So the Knight of Wands isn't really in frame, but at the back of the deck, we also have the Two of Wands in our Hermetic advice deck. So first of all, you need to know that you do have options. You have a kind of a scheming and dreaming energy about you in the second half of the year. And while it's important to strategize and to plan, don't get wrapped up in just that phase. Don't be afraid to take the next step in the second half of the year, and to do so with confidence. I think that you're going to realize something that you're good at here in the second half of the year with the root chakra, and this new skill set has the potential to be expanded on in some way, whether you take it into a financial direction of monetizing it, or whether you actually just try to gain more skills and study more of that and just kind of pique your interest more in that area. I see that whatever new you start, whatever new thing you try to start in the second half of the year, it's really going to challenge you to expand your skill set and to kind of practice some of the things that you've been learning. But I feel like you've got to see this as something that can't take all of your energy, all of your priority right now. You seem to be someone who's being pulled in a lot of different directions in the next 6 months. And while you have your interests and your obsessions and your passions and these new exciting things, you've also got some other stuff that seems to be going on, which I'm hoping will be clearer in the second part of your reading. We're going to go into the extended and break this energy down more. So I'm hoping it'll be clearer there. But if you aren't able to join me in the extended, I just feel like with the King of Pentacles reversed, you can't afford to forget your other responsibilities and your other priorities as well. And try not to let your insecurities stand in the way of what you feel you are ready to do, because I see you gaining confidence, which will ultimately lead you into these new paths that could help you get your version of success and figure out what your version of success looks like. With the Knight of Wands reversed, I do see things working out differently to what you expected. So just keep an open mind. You have a transformative energy about you, especially when you start something new. Keep your plans open and basic so that you're not overwhelming yourself. As controlled as you are being and as ambitious and masculine as your energy is, I do see life going, make it blue, make it pink, make it blue, make it pink, you know, like the Sleeping Beauty, the fairies. So it's going to change. And I think that you've just got to learn to roll with the punches here. And that's the best thing that you could do, is to just remain adaptable in this area, especially if it's something that you're looking at in a way of like, I need this to be successful so that this can be my main hustle, or I need this to be successful so that this can be my future home, my future career, whatever this is, whatever you're starting in the next half of the year. I see it working out only because you're adaptable, you're confident, you overcome your insecurities, and you're staying open to gaining new skills as well and new ways of doing things. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Group 2, when it comes to the second half of 2022. I'm going to take this into the extended now, as I mentioned earlier, where we will be breaking this energy down even further to get more specific messages. In the extended, we're still looking at the rest of 2022, but we're going to be focusing on love, career/finances, and general. So I'm going to start with general, get that out of the way, go to finances, get that out of the way, and end with love. We're going to have a look at what the rest of 2022 has in store for your group in those 3 specific areas. If you want to join me there, the link is in the description box. I shall see you there. It's already done. Before you go, sweets, wherever you're going, even if you can't join me over there, or if this is the first time that you saw me, for example, thank you so much for all of your energy and your time. I appreciate you tuning in and supporting me, this community, and free tarot in general. A massive thank you to those who are returning. I always love connecting with this community, and it's because of you that I'm able to do what I do. So thank you so much, and I hope to connect with you in another video. Bye! Hi Group 3 and welcome. If you chose this piece of coral or the True Black Tarot deck, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome. I'm going to put your coral over there and we're going to get your deck off to the side because we're actually going to start your reading with some oracle cards. So Group 3, we're asking Spirit today for predictions on how the rest of your 2022 is going to go. The way this reading is going to work is I'm going to pull 3 cards from this oracle deck, which will first tell us the 3 main themes that you can expect to experience for the rest of 2022. Then we're going to be clarifying with tarot using that True Black Tarot deck, and I'll be closing your reading by getting some advice from another tarot deck as well. There's going to be an extended just to make sure that we're getting as much information as possible. I've talked about the extended in the intro, and I'll talk about the extended again at the end of your reading. Let's get into it, Group 3. Spirit, what can Group 3 expect for the rest of 2022? What can Group 3 expect for the rest of 2022? One more theme, please. I like it. Oh, sweet. You've got a similar energy to another group. So if you felt drawn to more than one group, you probably have messages there. The back of the deck, we have the garden and the gate for you. So what this is telling me is that your group has a very big decision to make in the next 6 months, it's likely you have more than one actually. You have a decision that's going to probably impact multiple areas of your life. And I feel like for your group it is exciting because I have seen your other cards. So the other group that got this card, it wasn't that it wasn't exciting for them, it just felt very daunting for them. Whereas for you, I definitely see you kind of excited about where this new beginning is going to lead you and what this decision could turn into for you. I see the growth of something here that is inspiring you to get out of a comfort zone and to kind of build away from the nest that you've been in. Especially if you are currently dependent on somebody else or something else. A lot of this decision has to do with you kind of growing for yourself, becoming more independent and fostering something for yourself as well. It feels like it's all about you. So let's put your bottom deck energy over there. We're going to reveal your cards one at a time, just so it's easier for me to focus on in terms of the energy that we're channeling. I've learned from my second channel that it's easier if we just talk about one theme at a time. So let's do that. The first card I have for you is the Angel of Strength card, which is the number 50 in this deck. It is reversed, and I think that has a lot to do with how much you give versus how much you take as you close off this year. I'm seeing that a major theme for you with the Angel of Strength has a lot to do with what you are putting into the effort that you're putting into when it comes to your projects. So it does make me wonder what you're working on, because it feels like at times you have to really kind of push in order to achieve, and then at other times you have to kind of give yourself a break and be compassionate and recharge enough to be able to continue working hard. So I feel like you've got some big tasks ahead of you for the rest of the year, and there's this constant theme of checking in with yourself and figuring out like what it is that you need in that moment. Do you need to push harder, or do you actually need a break? Is that what is most important? So let's get some tarot out. We'll push those to the side for now and let's explore this theme. Is there a better way I could put this camera? Maybe like that. That's probably better. There we go. All right, group 3 with their first theme, the Angel of Strength. What can you tell us about that theme for the rest of 2022? What can you tell us about the Angel of Strength theme, Spirit, for group 3 for the rest of 2022? Okay, we have the 5 of Cups. What can you tell us? We have the Page of Pentacles. What can you tell us about that Angel of Strength theme? Being a bit dramatic, sorry. What can you tell us about that Angel of Strength theme for the rest of 2022? We got Strength reversed again. Wow. Oh, wow, wow, wow. We also have the 6 of Swords reversed. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about that Angel of Swords? The Angel of Swords, my days. The Angel of Strength, we have the Sun upright, so very strong Leo energy. Leo season could be significant, but I don't think that's the goal here. At the back of the deck, we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed, and we have Judgment as your final chord. So you can see that, hey, that's a bit better compared to the angle I had it on before. Let me hold my crystals and let's get into your first theme. Sweets, this Angel of Strength reversed has a lot to do with your self-worth and your self-image. It has a lot to do with how you see yourself being successful. And I feel like it has a lot to do with you being your biggest supporter, your strongest supporter, the one who's like, go group 3, you know, the one who doesn't give up, your biggest cheerleader. I feel like as you close this year out, it's very important that you stay confident in your ability to succeed, even when signs are showing that your success may be delayed or things aren't working out according to plan. It's highly important that you stay confident in your abilities to be successful. I see you experiencing disappointments, loss, and emotional changes that are impacting your ability to progress in the way that you hoped. You're looking at things as, wow, this is not going the way that I expected. And there is a strong feeling of going back in order to go forward, of healing something else in order to stay motivated towards a current goal or a current outcome. It's like your focus has to be on your life holistically, especially your emotional side, in order for you to be successful in other ways. Now, these emotional changes do cause you to kind of rethink, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? And some of you, it's just a strong sense of a distraction that is taking your focus away from the things that you were very determined to be successful in at the start of the year. And I think that this is a temporary setback for all of you, but for some of you, this is definitely going to be a time where you are thinking to yourself, dang, should I just throw in the towel and try something new? Now, regardless of whether you choose to or not, it's really important that you don't give up on being successful, full stop, because I am seeing the Page of Pentacles with the Sun upright, which tells me that you are someone who is going to find your niche this year, and your version of success is something that should make you feel confident and also happy. It's something that should bring you a lot of joy while also giving you a physical thing to work towards. The best way that I would describe it is that saying of if you really enjoy your work, then you haven't worked a day in your life, you know? That's probably not exactly how it's said, but that's what this gives me the energy of. It's like when you really enjoy what you do, you will not have to work a day in your life. With the Page of Pentacles upright, it's highly likely that some of you are expanding in a new way in the end of this year, learning something new, or just growing a skill further and realizing that you have so much more to learn than you thought. Going from this feeling of mastery into apprenticeship. That's what it feels like. And I think that staying open-minded to expanding your potential is going to be something that could bring back a lot of passion and zest into your life, especially when you are going through those emotional changes. There's a strong sense of harnessing joy and helpfully distracting yourself here. Now, we also have the Strength card reversed with Judgment upright. So I do see a process of reinvention as we close this year. I see you figuring out, hearing or learning something quite significant that is going to reshape the way that you see yourself and the way that you see yourself being successful. So the common theme here is having patience with yourself while you try to figure all of this out internally, let alone externally. But you also need to appreciate the fact that you could be the most knowledgeable, the strongest, the wisest person in the world, but when certain things happen, certain circumstances, when the universe brings certain things our way, we go straight back to being a novice and an amateur and someone who is very much still learning. So this feels like a very humbling experience for you, but I could also see how if you're a very proud person, if you're someone who struggles with sort of feeling like they're out of their depth, or it's been a while since you've been out of your depth, then this is going to be very tricky for you. The Ace of Pentacles reversed tells me that this theme is all about you, sweets. And for as long as you project it onto others and try to make out like it's their fault or it's them, it's that reason and this reason and blah, 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 then the more unsuccessful you're going to be. You really need to go within and figure out your niche and what is all of this telling you about yourself. How is this forcing you almost to focus more on your version of success rather than what others have done to potentially sabotage that path. So I think that Ace of Pentacles reversed is just really you focusing on yourself, focusing on your craft, focusing on your skill set, focusing on your ambition, focusing on your plans, and cultivating seeds that you can grow. I see some of you partaking in short-term courses that give you something else to pull out of your bag of tricks. You know, well, if carpentry doesn't work for me, at least I can be a plumber. Or if retail doesn't work for me, at least I could work from home as this kind of business owner. You know, like that's what it feels like. It feels like you're gaining practical skills and experience to be able to fall back on something, but also find your niche of what works for you and what is helpful for you. This is going to improve your self-confidence, your self-esteem, and it is going to help improve your partnerships, because when you see yourself in a higher light, you will automatically set the standard for how others are treating you. And if somebody is or something isn't treating you right, they're going to hear about it, okay? Because you'll have too much confidence to let it slide. It's not about being proud, it's about being sure in who you are. And that's the difference there. So let us clarify the advice for that theme. What is the advice for that Angel of Strength theme for group 3? What is the advice for that Angel of Strength theme for group 3, please, Spirit? Okay, we have Justice upright, your partnerships. Wow. What is the advice there for group 3 with the Angel of Strength theme? Okay. We also have the Three of Cups reversed. And we have the Lovers. Okay, Lovers is reversed. Those decisions, the Three of Wands is upright. You got a powerful energy of 3 here, expansion. I do think that despite this feeling of expansion, with the Three of Wands upright and the Three of Cups reversed, it's not about who you grow with or who you grow for. It's more about, well, why are we doing this? And now I see a partnership being significant in your success, but I also think that there's a heavy feeling of doing what is right here and balancing the scales for the sake of ensuring that, again, you're not doing too much and you're also doing enough. You know, I do think that some of you are going to really overdo it this year. As long as you give yourself a break afterwards, don't just burn and burn and burn and burn until you inevitably burn out. There's a strong feeling of you having ambition and really pushing your limits here. And I do see that ticking certain boxes, but I also see that coming with some grave news. And for some of you, that news has to do with your health. You physically cannot push yourself to those limits anymore. But for others of you with Justice upright, there is a strong feeling here of honoring balance and honoring your balance within your working world. So what works for you, trying to restore that balance where appropriate. The other thing about Justice is I see you getting legal support for some of you, which could be very helpful in terms of an issue that you're facing with that Five of Cups energy. Otherwise, that Justice card is just about trying to make the best decisions with the information that you have in terms of doing what is right, okay? And that's not about doing what is right in the moment. That's about doing what is right for the overall outcome, trying to win the battle, not the war, not the battle. The Three of Cups reversed, I am a little bit worried about your influences and why you push yourself so hard and who you're doing this for. I see that there is a feeling here of you losing yourself in other people at times, or measuring yourself against others who actually aren't comparable to you. So just worry about that a little bit. I think the other thing is it's going to be helpful for some of you to take some time off social media at the end of the year to just focus on yourself. And this should be significant. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm doing it because, you know, I just need a break. Like, use that break to actually do something that you need to. For example, if you want to get back into meditation, or you want to get back into reading, or you want to get back into kind of your family routine and seeing loved ones that you haven't because you've gotten too carried away with other things, then do that. Whatever you do, when you take a break from your social obligations, use that break to do something that you wanted to. Don't just kind of squander it away on Netflix or social media scrolling just because you're not posting, you know. There's a strong feeling here of mindfully resting. The other thing with that Three of Cups reverse, there is a social energy of you not maintaining appearances just for the friendship's sake. Like, I feel like some of you may be distancing yourself from some of your acquaintances, some of your peers, and some of the people who don't deserve you, sweets. As you build your self-worth, you're going to realize that your social circle may need to get a bit smaller. That may not apply to all of you, but I just think that we don't need everybody here, you know, like some people need you more than you need them. And while life shouldn't be all transactional, I just feel like their energy isn't helpful, contributing, or even just supportive. Like, they're not genuinely friendly. It gives me the vibe of using you for their own social gain, if that resonates. And I don't mean to make you paranoid. These people are going to stand out. Their actions are going to stand out, and how much they actually support you when you go through your emotional changes is what is going to highlight that. And I just want you to not feel afraid to lose them, because you're strengthening your other relationships, your other partnerships, your other friendships. The Lovers card reversed tells me that this is something that is going to require self-reflection. This theme is all about you really just internalizing in a helpful way, reflecting, journaling, communicating when you feel you can with the people that you can. But I see a strong emphasis on self here with the Lovers reversed. You making yourself the better version of yourself for you, which secondarily helps those around you who are being attracted towards you for whatever reason. So that's what I'm seeing for your first theme. Very juicy, very specific. Is that okay over there? Yeah. Let's go to your second theme. Oh, stop it. We got man holding a heart. Okay, so this is the number 45. So I'm seeing the larger numbers for your group. I like this for you. Am I just tired? Am I just tired? But I feel skeptical. Why do I feel skeptical? This is a beautiful energy. This shows me that someone in your energy is developing very strong sort of, there's a strong feeling of romance and feelings here, like romantic feelings. If you're already in a relationship, I think that a massive theme for you for the rest of the year is strengthening that relationship and really just trying to be more emotionally aware of each other and vulnerable towards each other. If you're not in a relationship, love is a key theme here for the rest of the year. So if you're single, it seems to either be something that's always on your mind, or it's something that is going to really be in your energy a lot as we close this year. So Spirit, can we clarify what's going on with this man holding a heart card for group 3? Why is this one of their main themes for the rest of 2022? Two of Cups, Queen of Swords. Why is this one of their main themes for the rest of 2022? We have the King of Wands. Lovers is at the back of the deck. King of Wands is reversed. Can I clarify that Queen of Swords, please, Spirit? We have the Devil card. What about that Two of Cups, please, Spirit? That is a supplementary card. We're going to leave that out. What about that Two of Cups, please, Spirit? The Four of Pentacles. Okay, that was a big clap. We have the Eight of Cups reversed. And at the back of the deck, we have the Six of Cups. I actually really like this, but that Queen of Wands, that Queen of Swords, excuse me, we have the Queen of Swords and the King of Wands. That Queen of Swords is skeptical. So there's a love situation that's happening for the rest of your year that has you in your head a lot. It has you questioning things, thinking about things. It's always on your mind. It's not even in a helpful way. That's the thing. Like the Queen of Wands, why do I keep saying the Queen of Wands? I think Spirit is saying that this is something that you have attracted towards you. But I feel like with the Queen of Swords here, this is someone who is scouring through information, really going over all the details, obsessing over the details to a certain extent, kind of forcing themselves to draw conclusions and observe everything, and then kind of doing it to the point where we're removing the organic material, we're removing how we felt, we're removing the emotions, and we're making this fantastically natural phenomenon of love an incredibly analytical black and white piece. So I see love being significant for the next 6 months, and this is romantic love, okay? However you view romantic love within your own identity, but I just think that we're very much in our heads about it to an unhealthy end with the Devil card here. It's something that could consume a lot of your time as a guilty obsession. What do they call it? A guilty, wow, what do you call it when you're like, oh, that's my guilty pleasure? So you want to be careful of that, because you're doing that to the point where you're not actually seeing things clearly. You're distorting the overall vision of your love life, and you're not letting what is organic happen naturally. You're kind of making it very analytical and black and white. With that Two of Cups though, it's a significant energy. This is a significant relationship. This person is a significant person. There is a feeling of friendship being molded first. And if that doesn't resonate, then just know that for the next 6 months, the goal here is to focus on the friendship, on the feeling of, I know you, you know me, we get each other. This relationship is a partnership. We're balanced individuals. We accept each other's differences and we work well together. With the Four of Pentacles, it's highly likely that you're very attached to each other. I feel like the two of you aren't going to want to spend much time apart. And I mean, I don't have much in terms of how you'll meet them if you haven't met them yet, because I feel that for most of you, this person is already in your energy and you may already be overthinking them, or you may be overthinking how they come into your life, when there is a strong emphasis on letting things unfold naturally and organically. I think that focusing on the partnership is what is going to help. And looking at it as a balanced partnership of equality and reciprocity. I see a lot of indication of this being a soulmate, someone who is a kindred spirit, whom you share a lot of similarities and likeness with. As different as you may be with the Two of Cups, you have enough similar interests. You have a connection to each other's past that brings the two of you together and makes it feel almost effortless. So why are they overthinking this then? Page of Swords. It is your guilty pleasure. You may just be really over-saturating the information as well by scouring online sources. This looks like someone who's doing a lot of pick cards. No judgment. You're in your community of like-minded people here, sweet pea, but the Moon reversed, yeah, reading between the lines and really ruminating on the unknown. The Two of Pentacles reversed. I feel like you're overcomplicating the situation. I've got to call you out. I feel like you're overcomplicating the situation. The best thing that you could do is just focus on this as a friendship and try to make time for each other and getting to know each other, or strengthening the bond you already have for those who are in a relationship already or seeing this person already. And then giving yourself helpful time to reflect, right? And I mean reflect about how you feel, not obsessing over how they feel and what they're doing and what are they thinking. No, but how do you feel? How do they make you feel? What is this situation provoking within you, stirring within you, triggering you? That's what is going to be helpful with the Hermit upright. And then reflecting on how you got here as well, and why you are wanting to progress if you do with this person. Helpful reflection in that way, which is more focused on the things you can control yourself. Now with the King of Wands reversed and the Eight of Cups reversed, it's highly likely that you two may end up pushing each other away at some point. But I see that you're going to want to give this relationship a fairer chance before the end of the year. There's this feeling of keeping each other at arm's length. And the thing about this energy, sweets, is it could just be because your attention is elsewhere, or it could be because something else has pulled you away from each other. But I see the Eight of Cups as you wanting to come back and see if you can get your 10 of Cups with this person, your happily ever after with them, an emotionally fulfilling outcome with them. And I do see that as much as you may try to demonize this person at times and make them out to be this harsh person who doesn't really fit into your ideal mold, they're going to want to try. They're going to want to stick around. It's very interesting. The Four of Cups, they don't want to miss out. They're like, you know what? At the end of the day, I need to know. I need to know if this is possible, and I'm going to show that to you. I'm going to prove that to you. The Eight of Wands, I want to push through this with you. So what is the advice here for group 3 when it comes to this man holding a heart energy? What is the advice here for group 3? We have the King of Wands reversed. We have the King of Pentacles upright. What is the advice, Spirit? What is the advice? Yeah, I don't think that's a goinky dink. 9 of Swords and the Hermit with the 10 of Pentacles reversed. Oy, oy, oy. Again, no judgment. You're in a community of peers. But, and it's a small but. It's not a big but. It's a little but. You need to get out of your beautiful mind and stop thinking the worst before the worst has happened. You've got to overcome some of your own fears, and you have to use your time alone to helpfully reflect on what fear is helpful and what fear is unhelpful, what thought is intrusive and what thought is reflective. Now, I'm seeing with the Queen of Wands reversed, the two of you are very attracted to each other, and while you should use your passion as a catalyst in terms of I really am drawn to you, you shouldn't focus on just that, because the passion will wane. I think that the Queen of Wands is reversed because we need to use those passionate moments as an opportunity to get closer to the other person emotionally. And the thing about this Queen of Wands reversed is, if we're looking at them as, oh, they haven't complimented me today, or they haven't looked at me as much as they used to, then we're going to start to feel very dependent on them for validation in this situation. Instead of looking at this as more of a secure attachment, we're going to base their interest on how they view us physically or treat us physically or passionately or sexually. And that is a huge question mark here over creating a secure attachment to this person. There's a feeling of not basing their interest or their general, glances towards you as validation of them being attracted to you, because it feels like this person has something else going on in the next half of the year, and they may not be there to always look at you and give you that validation in a physical sense. So there is a strong feeling here of you building an emotional connection which will offer a more secure relationship to this person, helping you get to know them and how they display love and affection, and helping them get to know you and how you display love and affection and what your love languages are respectively. Because I feel like this person, they may really enjoy what they're looking at when they look at you, but I just feel like they're not always like that. They don't always just kind of make it obvious in a visual way. So that you're not feeling too insecure and waning in your self-confidence, it's really important that you do that helpful reflective work and spend time getting to know this person intimately as well. Now, with the King of Pentacles upright, this is giving me marriage material. I did see the Hierophant as well, but there's something about expectations for the future that may differ here, okay? So someone either has priorities or they have a plan that they want to achieve before they settle down. And that's the only thing that I'm seeing, is that you two may have very different views on where this relationship is going in the near future. I'm not saying that it can't be successful, but it seems unconventional or a little bit different to what you both expected respectively. Like you wanted this, they wanted that. Can you compromise with that Two of Cups? And I think some of you can, because you don't want to lose this person, but others of you are kind of like, nah, see ya. You go do your thing, come back when you're ready. And they're like, okay. Okay, I'm so sorry, but the camera stopped recording and I didn't realize. So I'm gonna have to repeat myself. But I was talking about them going away and coming back due to differences in plans and expectations for the near future. Now, I do see this relationship working out if you really want it to. Compromise is required, and you getting out of your head is what is going to make this smoother, because the more you stew over the unknown and things that you can't control, which is their feelings, their desires, their passions, them, full stop, the more stressful this is going to be. And I see this being very obsessively unhealthy at times, where it could be a lot more secure and healthy and just loving. I see this person having genuine feelings for you. I see this taking up a lot of your energy though, and I think that instead of stewing on all that uncertainty, you really need to use the advice here to stay grounded and to just give yourself a mental break from this connection in a healthy way. So that's what I'm seeing for your second theme. Let's move forward to your third. Your third theme, we have the second chakra, Archangel Ariel, number 36. So you do have big numbers here. We've got the number 36, 45, and 50. Those numbers reduce to 5, 9, and 9 again. So 9 is very significant for you. Let's clarify what this second chakra is talking about. I just want to throw some themes out there first though. With this second chakra, I am feeling a rebirth. I am feeling false starts, cancelled plans, all the Ace of Wands energies, but I am also seeing a redirection of energy. You kind of feeling like you need to re-examine your passion and rediscover your spark. It feels like for some of you, you may be experiencing fertility issues, and this could be something that really consumes a lot of your next 6 months because you're trying to focus on getting this done the right way, and sort of it feels like you're trying to create something full stop. Even if it's not a child, it feels like your group is really kind of wanting to, like, well, what is next? How do we get this going? How do we grow from here? It also feels like you're just repurposing old energy. Let's clarify what that card is talking about. We have the Hanged Man coming out first. What is the second chakra card talking about for group 3? Okay. We also have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Okay, I see you guys getting very frustrated and trying something different. Change of plans. This isn't working. That's what it feels like. We also have the Ace of Swords reversed. So Spirit, can we clarify the Hanged Man? We have the High Priestess reversed. Clarify the Seven of Pentacles, please, Spirit. We have, okay, the Ten of Pentacles and the Hierophant. Ten of Pentacles is reversed. And for the Ace of Swords, we have the Page of Cups. At the back of the deck, we have the Star card, so some Aquarius energy. Let me just move that back a little bit. I have to sneeze. I'm sorry, that was right into the microphone, wasn't it? I apologize. Okay, let's get into this. Now my nose is feeling disrupted. Oh my gosh, look at us. Anyway, let's stay focused. Let's not let my allergies, I don't think they're allergies, I just have a sinus issue. It's been very cold lately. The Star at the bottom of the deck, I love this actually. I see you guys gaining some sort of passion, and it's not what you had planned. Like, it feels very secondary. Like, I just wanted to do this and now I've got that. You know, like, I see this as you achieving some sort of recognition. For some of you, this is popularity. You're literally going to blow up. Or it just feels like you have this strange feeling of needing to fulfill a purpose, needing to pursue something. And it feels like you're following destiny. It feels like you feel very called to do this. And it has a lot to do with you harnessing some skill that you have, or a unique talent that you have, or just something that you seem to be very naturally good at. And I want to say that you're just trying to figure out what your next steps are. Well, how do I maximize this? How do I get the best out of this moment? With the Hanged Man and the High Priestess, it feels like it's either unknown territory, uncharted territory, or it's something that you just need to kind of figure out before you get going. Like, you have to personally sit down and decide, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do? I see you planning something, but I also just see you building the confidence to be able to do this, because at the end of the day, again, like, it's not so much getting advice. It's more about just feeling more comfortable in pursuing this within yourself. Now, it could be very likely that your passion for this project or for this outcome, this goal, is coming from unsatisfaction in another area of your life. You feel frustrated in another area of your life, and you feel like you failed there. You feel like you put a lot of effort into something and it didn't work out, and it's not leading to the success that you want, so you're going to try something else. I do see you getting advice about that. I see you maybe even going to your manager and saying like, hey, this job isn't what I thought it would be. Like, when am I going to get that juicy paycheck that you promised me? When am I going to get this? When am I going to get that? There's just a real feeling of something not meeting up to your expectations. And so that's where I see the false plans or false start, canceled plans, because you had planned to be in that industry or to be in that area, to study, to work hard and to finish that. But it's not working out. It's not ticking boxes. It's not what it promised it would be. And in a practical sense, it probably isn't paying the bills, or it's just not meeting your material expectations. So with the Ace of Swords reversed and this Page of Cups upright, I don't see you kind of pulling anything random out of the woodworks. I see in the next 6 months, you're going to be working on something that you already thought of. It's like, no, I already thought of doing this. I'm just going to try again, or I'm just going to revisit the idea, and I'm going to tentatively start investing more energy into it. With the Page of Cups, there's a very light-hearted, fun approach to this. Almost like it's just something that you do for fun, and then it starts to kind of really pick up. That's why I feel like for a lot of you it has to do with you blowing up and becoming popular in some way, because it's this real strong energy of like, I just started doing it for fun and now I'm getting more recognition for it. I don't know how far this will take you in the next 6 months, because there is a strong feeling here of prioritizing your mental health and your well-being, and try to make sure that you don't lose your feet. Like, there's a strong feeling of not wanting to get overwhelmed. But with the Hanged Man here, you're seeing a new perspective on how to do things, and you're gaining a fresh perspective on how to move forward, how to grow, how to be successful, full stop. But it's more than just success. It feels like group 3, while you're focusing on success in one way and relationships in another way, you're also considering doing something that you feel people may try to talk you out of to a certain extent. And so you're trying to take such a lighthearted approach, just in case it's not successful and just in case you regret making that decision. 8 of Swords. Yeah, some of you aren't going to tell anybody that you're doing this. You're just like, if it works out, it works out. Not even your close friends. Oh my God. Destiny. It feels like something that you're meant to do, though. You can't help but feel like this is something, like, I can't make this up, the Destiny card. You can't help but feel like this is something that you were personally meant to do. Like, it literally feels like your destiny. So interesting energy. Is there anything else that group 3 needs to know about this third theme? The 6 of Pentacles reversed. You have to kind of be a bit more eat or be eaten, you know? Like, it almost feels a bit selfish. Like, I have to take what is mine. I'm not owed anything. I'm not promised anything. The effort that you put in is the reward that you will reap. It's not something that's just going to be handed to you on a silver platter. And it's something that you need to kind of prioritize if you want it to be successful. This is very interesting, and I'm curious to get into your extended reading to see how this all plays out for you. Can we clarify advice for this theme before we go into the extended, Spirit? What is the advice for the third theme for group 3? Okay, we have the 8 of Swords reversed, 8 of Wands reversed. Yeah, don't be afraid to try something new. Give yourself more outlets, Spirit's saying. I see a creative endeavor for some of you. Like, especially if you're an artist, you may be trying a different medium or being an artist in a different way. What is the advice here with the... You haven't lost your skill, you've lost your spark. That's what they're saying. Oh my Lord. Okay, your advice is a bit messy over here, so bear with me. At the back of the deck, we have the 5 of Wands. We've got the 3 of Wands, 3 of Swords, 6 of Swords reversed, 8 of Wands, 8 of Swords reversed. So I feel like you guys, you need to kind of put yourself out there more, and you need to not be afraid of showing what it is that you have to offer, of doing what it is that you want. There are a lot of loud people in this world, especially with social media, but none of them are you. None of them can do that thing the way that you can. And your advice at the bottom of the deck is to stop trying to compete with other people and to just show the world what you have to offer. I feel like you guys could be in a very competitive industry, or you could be trying to achieve something that has a lot of competition. But at the end of the day, I think that the more you focus on others, the less successful you'll be. There's a feeling here of trying to be a trailblazer, or trying to simply gain recognition for what it is that you can do, not because it's similar to this or similar to that, or hey, we already have someone making that content at the moment. It's like, no, whatever this has to do with, you haven't lost your skill, you've lost your spark. So there is a feeling here of as well of redirecting energy into a new way of expressing, into a new way of moving this situation forward. And a big part of that is getting out of your head and reminding yourself that there is always something you can do, even though something may not seem to be working out in one way, and you may not be getting the results that you expected in one direction. Is there another direction that you can move in? There is a feeling of getting out of your head and just doing as well. I feel like a lot of you guys need to be patient with the results to a certain extent. Excuse me. You need to also, with the Three of Wands, keep your options open. I'm not saying to take on too much at once in the beginning, but definitely don't be afraid to be diverse and to diversify. I'm hearing that the more open you remain, the more opportunities you'll attract. So be curious and open to explore anything, and just be aware of obviously how much you can actually do. Like, we don't want you to become a dollar store and you're selling everything, you know, but we do want you to realize that there is more ways to move forward in this area of your life, and to ensure that you are moving forward in this area of your life, because I see you guys being very frustrated in the next 6 months with how limited the growth has been. Your expectations are not met, so you're considering revisiting old ideas that you've done before. I do think with the Three of Swords, you have to learn to accept information for what it is. There is a feeling here of having a difficult conversation, or just sort of facing a difficult truth that is ultimately going to set yourself free. There is a time to be blindly optimistic, and there is a time to be helpfully realistic. In the next 6 months, I think that some of you guys need to kind of, with the Six of Swords, move forward in a way where you're not trying to kind of be too much too quickly, and you're trying to really pay attention to all the little signs of opportunity along the way, and feel your way through this with a curious need to be successful, not with a analytical, numbers-based need to be successful, but really this has a lot to do with you trying to make the most out of what you have. I hope that's helpful, Group 3. I think that's what I'm seeing for you. I don't think I should take it any further because it's just getting more confusing for me, and I want to keep the messages clear. A lot of focus on you and success in the next 6 months. A lot of focus on love. So I'm going to take this into the extended now so we can dive into it and make it a bit more clearer and a bit more specific. So in your extended reading, we're going to look at the next 6 months, focusing specifically on love, your finances, and a general. So that will help us split this up and make it a bit more clearer. The extended reading will be in the description box. It's all ready to go when you are, so I shall see you there if you're joining me. Otherwise, before you go wherever you're going, thank you so much for all of your support, time, and energy here on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in, supporting me, this community, and free tarot in general. It's been a pleasure to read for you, Group 3. You got a lot of messages, a lot of random messages, a little scattered at times, so remember to take what resonates. Do not let the rest take from you, and I shall see you in another video. Bye!